Here at the Odell Range Day, I was just down on the pistol range and there was a gentleman there who was having a heck of a lot of fun learning about some guns and seemed to be having a really good time. I got introduced to him, Harold Albrecht, MP, Kitchener Conestoga, and he's going to chat with me about what's happening here at Odell Range Day.
You know, I deeply respect the hunting community, the hunting and angling community, and the sport shooters, even though I'm not personally involved, as you could tell. But I deeply respect them and the work that they do. So I'm here just to support and do anything I can to learn more about it myself.
Well, what did you get a chance to shoot down there?
I don't even know what they were called. There was a handgun and another one. You have to tell me what it was.
I think you were shooting a black powder rifle, and I saw you shooting a handgun. I think it was a 45, but I'm not sure.
I'll take your word for it.
I came in late on it, so. So is this your riding here, Harold?
No, my riding is just a bit west of here, west and north. So there's another riding in between. Okay. And your riding is somewhat rural, or is it a mix of rural and 50% rural in terms of the demographics, 50% urban. But in terms of geography, obviously the rural part is about 80% of the riding geographically.
Okay. So you'd have a lot of constituents that are actually currently affected by this incoming Bill C-71.
I definitely do. And the thing that I think most Canadians forget, or a lot of Canadians forget, is that it isn't just rural Canadians that are shooters, sport shooters and hunters. A lot of people living in downtown Toronto are active members of shooting clubs and sports clubs. So it's important that all of them, urban and rural, are aware of the issues involved with gun safety. And the gun licensing laws that we have, I mean, I know what it's about. I own a gun myself, and I know they go through a rigorous process to make sure that the people that are using those guns are licensed. That's what's important.
Yeah, I think a lot of the frustration that we get as licensed firearms owners is that this current legislation that's coming down the pipe doesn't really seem to target the bad guys.
So there's no way that it's going to do anything to reduce gangs and gun violence. That's the problem with the legislation. And it actually has the potential of making a criminal out of a person who's actually doing a transaction that they think is perfectly legal, but because they haven't picked up the phone and called to make the transaction between two gun owners, which is currently perfectly legal. They're both licensed, they show each other they're licensed. That's going to change, and it's a shame that it's going to put what I would call responsible gun owners, responsible sport shooters and hunters at risk.
Yeah, almost like a backdoor registry.
Yeah, well, there is a registry. If you got to call somebody and let them know, how can you call it anything but a registry?
So I expect that the Conservative Party is looking at this, and I know you guys just had your big meeting out in Halifax, and
well, even before that, our party's been very clear on this. The C-71 does nothing to protect Canadians, and it's simply going to have the potential of making legal, law-abiding, responsible gun owners victims, and it's not fair. It's not right, and the big problem is it gives a false image of extra safety. It does nothing for that.
What are your thoughts, or maybe the party thoughts, on these proposed handgun bans in urban areas like Toronto and Montreal?
Yeah. Well, I won't speak for the party because we haven't discussed that particular issue, but from a common sense perspective, you can ban anything in terms of what's on paper, what's in the law. But again, criminals, violent gangs are not going to look up to see what the ban is in city X, Y, Z. And it's unfortunate, but that's the reality of the world we're living in. So again, I think it gives a false security message to Canadians, putting a ban on it. I wish there wasn't gun violence in our cities. Absolutely, it's a shame. But to try to attack it through this massive ban in a city, whether it's Toronto or any other major city, I don't think is going to have the impact that they expect. And again, it gives that impression of safety and security. But at the end of the day,
it may be in some ways, in my opinion, pandering to the crowd that doesn't understand Canadian firearms, the Canadian firearms community, and how responsible we are. In fact, I think we're the most vetted subsegment of society. Well,
as I indicated earlier, the emphasis placed on safety, the licensing procedures that are followed in our country right now are some of the best. And I certainly wouldn't promote any weakening of those laws, but to go back to a gun registry, which we had, where you put a sticker on a gun and that's somehow going to make your community safer is not real.
I thank you for coming out.
Thank you. No, it's great to be
supporting
here.
Our community, and
I'm always open to learning, and that's what I'm here for today.
Fantastic. And I think you had a lot of fun out on the range as well.
At the same time, I did. Thanks.
And so you don't miss out, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube.com. This is Coat of Arms.